Imagine losing $50 million in a single second. It's the kind of money that has generational consequences. Gone. Poof. Now, you might think this requires a team of North Korean super hackers or a quantum computer cracking SHA-256 encryption. But the scary reality is, this crypto whale didn't get hacked.
What?
They didn't leak their private keys, and they didn't even click a phishing link. They made a simple mistake, a mistake that involves a habit you may engage in every single day. They were undone by something called address poisoning. And on December 20th, 2025, it cost them 50 million USDT. And if you think that you're too smart to fall for it, I have some bad news. The victim in this case actually followed some best practices. So today, we're going to break down exactly how this attack happened, why 2025 has become the worst year on record for crypto scams, and most importantly, the specific steps you need to take right now to ensure that you aren't the next headline. My name is Louis, and you're watching The Coin Bureau. First up, I must make one thing clear, and that's that I am not a financial advisor. I'm just the kind of guy who looks at on-chain data so you don't have to. This is educational content meant to help you keep your crypto safe. If that sounds good, then hit that like button and let's get into it. So, to understand the $50 million error, we have to look at how our brains process blockchain data. We, unfortunately, are lazy. When we see a wallet address like OXBAFF ending in 8FB5, we don't really read the 40 characters in the middle. We check the start, we check the end, and we hit send. Scammers know this. Here is exactly what happened on December 20th. Trader withdrew a massive sum of USDT from Binance. Being a cautious whale, they sent a small test transaction of 50 USDT to their cold storage address. Standard procedure, right? But immediately after that test transaction hit the blockchain, an automated script deployed by an attacker picked it up. Within minutes, the attacker generated a so-called vanity address. This is a wallet address that looked almost identical to the whale's cold storage. It matched the first 5 characters, and it matched the last 4 characters. The attacker then sent a tiny dust transaction of 0.005 USDT to the whale's wallet from this look-alike address. So when the whale went to send the full $50 million 12 minutes later, they likely went to their transaction history, saw the most recent entry for 0.005 USDT, assumed it was their own test transaction, and copied that address. They checked the start and they checked the end. It looked right. And just like that, 49,999,950 USDT was sent directly to the scammer. 30 minutes later, the attacker swapped that USDT for DAI to avoid Tether freezing the funds, converted it to Ethereum, and washed it through Tornado Cash. The brutal reality is that address poisoning exploits human psychology, not code. And according to security firms like Web3 Antivirus, this vector accounted for over 10% of all wallet drains in 2025. But address poisoning is just the tip of the iceberg. If we zoom out to the broader landscape of 2025, the picture gets even darker. We are seeing a massive rise in what the FBI calls pig butchering, a horrific name for a horrific crime. It involves scammers building long-term trust with victims, sometimes over months, before convincing them to invest in fake crypto platforms. According to the FBI's 2024 Internet Crime Report, investment fraud, including these pig butchering scams, resulted in $5.8 billion in victim losses, and the data for 2025 suggests that it's getting even worse. Chainalysis reports that in the first half of 2025 alone, over $3.1 billion was lost to scams and hacks. That makes 2025 the most devastating year for crypto crime on record. And before you say, well, I'd never send money to a stranger on the internet, you need to hear about the fake app epidemic. Take the case of Mark Coe, a sophisticated Web3 investor. In December 2025, he was approached to beta test a game called Metatoy. The website was polished, the Discord was active, the team was responsive. So he downloaded the game launcher. His Norton antivirus flagged it, but he ran scans, deleted suspicious files, and thought that he was safe. Well, He wasn't. It turns out that the malware was an info stealer. It bypassed his security, hijacked his browser sessions, and within 24 hours, every wallet connected to his browser extension was drained. He lost over $14,000. Savings accumulated over 8 years. This malware didn't just log keystrokes. It exploited zero-day vulnerabilities in Chrome to steal authentication tokens. The scary part? Well, standard antivirus software is often steps behind these new evasion techniques used by malware families like Luma and Redline. So, if you can't trust your transaction history and you can't trust your antivirus, what can you trust? We love the mantra, not your keys, not your coins. But the corollary to that is your keys, your responsibility. And if you don't know what you're doing, self-custody can be a trap. There is a dangerous trend of individuals trying to set up complex multi-signature wallets for personal use, thinking it makes them safer. But on December 18, 2025, a major investor lost $27.3 million because a private key for their multi-sig setup was compromised. Multi-sig is great for corporate treasuries, but for an individual, it often introduces complexity that leads to human error. If you lose the recovery seeds for a majority of your signers, your funds are gone forever. There is no forget password button on the blockchain. And that reminds me, if you're looking to secure your crypto journey with the best tools in the business, you have to check out the Coin Bureau Deals page. That's where you'll find exclusive offers on the most secure hardware wallets and top-tier exchanges with robust security measures. Plus, we have curated sign-up bonuses of up to $100,000 and trading fee discounts of up to 50%. But more importantly, we vet these partners to ensure that they meet our standards. Just hit the link in the description or scan this QR code on the screen to see our current offers. Security isn't just about avoiding scams. It's about using the right infrastructure. And these deals can help you get set up properly for a fraction of the cost. And these offers do rotate regularly, so take advantage of them while you can using the link in the description below. Okay, so we've covered the horror stories. Now let's talk about the solutions. How do you actually protect yourself in this environment? Well, I've compiled a security checklist based on the latest research from 2025. You're welcome, by the way. First, enable address whitelisting on every exchange you use. This feature restricts withdrawals to only addresses that you've previously approved. Crucially, most exchanges impose a 48-hour cooling-off period when you add a new address. If a hacker gets into your account, they can't drain it immediately. If you are being socially engineered by a pig butchering scammer, that 48-hour delay gives you time to snap out of it. It is a friction that saves lives. Second, and this is critical, you must verify transactions on the device screen, not your computer screen. Remember the Bybit hack that cost $1.4 billion earlier this year? The interface showed users a legitimate transaction, but the malicious code was sending a different infrastructure to the wallet. If you blindly clicked confirm on your ledger or Trezor without reading the address and the amount on the tiny physical screen, well, you are bypassing the entire point of a hardware wallet. Third is the test transaction rule, but you have to do it right. The victim of the $50 million address poisoning attack did send a test transaction. Their mistake was copying the address from the transaction history for the second transfer. Here is the rule. Send a small test amount, wait for it to arrive, then, when you send the full amount, verify the address again, character by character, against the destination, not just against your transaction history. And when you do copy and paste your wallet addresses, do it straight from your wallet, not from your transaction history. And honestly, for amounts that large, just send another test. Fees are so cheap compared to losing $50 million. And then split that large amount up into multiple smaller amounts to minimize any potential loss. It's more of a hassle, yes, but way better than losing the lot in one go. Fourth, if you do have significant holdings, get a dedicated laptop or phone for crypto. No games, no downloading beta software, and no clicking links in Discord, or your email, or in Twitter DMs, or anywhere else. Mark Coe lost his portfolio because he mixed his work device with his gaming hobbies. Don't make that mistake. Now, we have to talk about the aftermath, because if the worst happens, you are going to be vulnerable to a second attack. It's called the recovery scam. The FBI's Internet Crime Compliance Center, or IC3, issued a major warning in August 2025 about this. Here is the reality check. If you lose your crypto to a scammer, it's almost always certainly gone. But unfortunately, there are countless services online claiming that they could hack the hackers or use blockchain forensics to get your money back for an upfront fee.
This is lies.
They are secondary scammers preying on your desperation. They will ask for a fee in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then they will just ghost you. Legitimate recovery is rare. The global average is around 70% for major exchange hacks where law enforcement gets involved, but for individuals, it's near zero. If you are compromised, your only legitimate path is to report it to the FBI's IC3, local law enforcement, and the exchange where the funds were sent. Do not trust anyone in your DMs claiming that they know a guy who works at the FBI, because, well, they don't. So, what's the verdict? The crypto landscape in 2025 is hostile. The attackers are sophisticated, the malware is evasive, and the social engineering is psychologically precise. Security isn't sexy, it's tedious. It involves checking 40 characters of gibberish. It involves waiting 48 hours for a whitelist approval. It involves buying a separate laptop that you only use once a month. But it is the only thing standing between you and zero. The $50 million whale thought that they were safe. The sophisticated investor thought his antivirus would catch the malware. Don't assume that you're smarter than the scammers. Assume you are a target and act accordingly. Remember the old saying, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you. But what do you think? Have you checked your wallet permissions lately? Do you use a dedicated device for your crypto? Let me know in the comments below. That's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you again soon. It's Lewis, signing off.